Power begins where impulse ends. The Machiavellian strategist understands that self-discipline is not a virtue, it is a weapon. It is the ability to govern desire, to command emotion, to act by intention rather than reaction. Every empire, every legacy, every enduring figure in history was built upon this single force: mastery over the self before mastery over others. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors the prepared mind, the one that shapes its own habits before the world shapes them. Discipline is not restriction, it is control over chaos. It is the invisible armor that allows you to remain calm while others burn in their own passions. The undisciplined chase pleasure and call it freedom. The disciplined endure restraint and call it strength. The difference between the two determines who leads and who follows. Self-discipline, to the strategist, is not punishment. It is the deliberate creation of order. It means waking with purpose, acting with calculation, and speaking with precision. It is the refusal to let weakness dictate timing. It is the quiet strength that says no to what feels good now, to protect what is valuable later. In this lesson, you will learn how the disciplined mind gains invisible dominance, how to train consistency without fatigue, how to weaponize restraint, and how to make your habits serve strategy instead of emotion. You will see how control over yourself alters how others perceive you, how your patience becomes power, and how your restraint bends chaos into obedience. Because the truth is simple and absolute. No one commands others until he commands himself. All control begins inward, and those who master their own impulses become immune to manipulation, to distraction, and to fear. Self-discipline is the unseen throne of all power, and those who sit upon it rule silently. Let us begin. No throne stands without foundation, and in the empire of the self, that foundation is discipline. The Machiavellian strategist understands that every form of external control over people, events, or circumstance begins with internal control. The man who cannot command his own moods, appetites, or thoughts will always serve the one who can. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must govern fortune through preparation, for chaos strikes hardest where order is weakest. Discipline is preparation embodied. It transforms intention into structure, will into weaponry. Without it, vision remains fantasy. With it, even the smallest plan becomes inevitable. The strategist treats self-discipline not as morality but as mechanics. He studies himself like an engineer studies machinery. Where does focus leak? Where does energy scatter? Where do impulses interrupt design? Each weakness is tightened through habit until movement becomes precision. He removes indulgence not out of guilt, but out of efficiency. Discipline is not deprivation, it is exchange. You trade short comfort for long command, momentary pleasure for permanent peace. The crowd seeks relief, the strategist seeks readiness. While others spend energy reacting, he conserves it for decisive action. This economy of effort builds advantage, invisible to those who chase stimulation. The first rule of self-discipline is rhythm. The strategist orders his days as a general orders soldiers, every task aligned with purpose. He wakes not when he feels like it, but when he must. He works not by mood, but by measure. Routine becomes ritual, and ritual becomes power. The disciplined man moves with the confidence of predictability, while the undisciplined stumble through chaos. The second rule is resistance. Discipline is sharpened not in ease, but in denial. Each temptation refused becomes an act of reinforcement. Hunger trains strength, fatigue trains endurance, solitude trains focus. The strategist learns to endure discomfort until discomfort itself becomes neutral. When you no longer flee from pain, pain loses control over you. The third rule is reflection. Discipline without reflection becomes tyranny of the self. Reflection turns it into mastery. Each night, the strategist reviews his actions with ruthless honesty. What impulses ruled him, what emotions distracted him, what weakness betrayed him. The next day, he corrects with precision. Progress becomes mathematical. Machiavelli would call this the internal state and order maintained within the mind that resists the disorder of circumstance. The disciplined man is his own fortress. He does not require ideal conditions. He creates them. He is consistent not because the world allows it, but because he allows no alternative. This foundation of command transforms perception. People sense discipline in posture, tone, and rhythm. They may not name it, but they feel it, the calm pressure of someone who cannot be swayed. The disciplined rarely need to assert dominance. Their very composure is domination. Understand this. Every weakness in life begins with a failure of discipline. Every strength begins with its mastery. The strategist, therefore, builds his foundation daily in small acts of control invisible to the world. When crisis comes, he stands while others collapse, because he has practiced standing every morning. Power without discipline is noise. Discipline without purpose is routine. Together, they form sovereignty, the ability to rule within and therefore rule without. The disciplined man's true advantage is not found in what he does, it is found in what he refuses to do. The Machiavellian strategist knows that restraint is the rarest and most misunderstood form of power. The crowd mistakes it for hesitation, the weak for suppression, but in truth, restraint is dominance distilled into silence. Machiavelli wrote that a wise ruler must know when to act as the lion and when to act as the fox. Restraint is the art of the fox, the ability to withhold force until its release becomes inevitable. It is the intelligence to wait, the patience to observe, and the strength to choose not yet. In restraint lies control of perception. Every impulsive act reveals a weakness, anger reveals insecurity, over-explanation reveals guilt, indulgence reveals lack of control. The strategist knows that those who cannot resist must obey those who can. Restraint creates asymmetry. You watch while they react, you plan while they reveal, you remain still while they exhaust themselves. The psychology of restraint begins with the understanding that emotion is energy. The undisciplined spend it as soon as it arises. The strategist stores it until it serves. Anger becomes calculation. Desire becomes motivation. Pain becomes endurance. Every act of restraint transforms volatility into force held in reserve. To outsiders, this calm appears supernatural. To the strategist, it is simply control. Restraint also protects reputation. The fewer your reactions, the fewer your vulnerabilities. Those who respond to every challenge show desperation for recognition. Those who remain composed project authority. In any hierarchy, personal or political, the calm man becomes the reference point. His silence dictates the tempo. Others adjust their tone to match his stillness. This is the quiet physics of power. To practice restraint, the strategist applies 3 laws. The first, never react immediately. Reaction is ownership surrendered. Every pause after provocation reclaims command. When emotion surges, the strategist delays response, counting time not as inaction but as investment. The longer he waits, the more the other reveals. The second, never explain unnecessarily. Explanation dilutes power. The need to justify comes from insecurity, and insecurity invites intrusion. The strategist lets results speak for him. He knows that mystery attracts more respect than argument ever will. The third, never indulge excess. Pleasure, like anger, must be rationed. Too much comfort breeds softness. Too much praise breeds arrogance. The strategist enjoys what strengthens him and denies what weakens focus. His pleasures are chosen, not chased. Restraint is not repression, it is redirection. The strategist does not deny instinct, he disciplines it. He does not silence emotion, he teaches it obedience. When his patience finally breaks, it does so with surgical precision. His timing feels divine because it is deliberate. Machiavelli would say that fortune punishes haste. The disciplined man, therefore, lets fortune come to him. He is neither passive nor reactive, he is prepared. When opportunity appears, he does not scramble. He strikes with perfection born of waiting. To the world, restraint looks like serenity. To the strategist, It feels like compression, the power of potential restrained until its release becomes inevitable. In the psychology of restraint lies a paradox. The more you control yourself, the more you control others. Those who master this law stop chasing outcomes. They let the impatient destroy themselves against the walls of their calm. Discipline is not forged in great moments. It is built in repetitions so small that they escape notice. The Machiavellian strategist understands that consistency is not monotony, it is momentum. It is the rhythm that converts discipline from effort into nature, from decision into instinct. Machiavelli wrote that the stability of any state depends upon the regularity of its laws. The same is true for the individual. Without consistency, there is no rule, only impulse disguised as ambition. The strategist therefore builds his day like a fortress, brick by brick, action by action, each habit reinforcing the next. Consistency is ritual. It is not merely doing something often, it is doing it with devotion. The disciplined man wakes, works, and rests according to internal law, not external circumstance. Routine becomes sacred because it frees him from negotiation. The undisciplined ask themselves what they feel like doing. The strategist has already decided. But this ritual is not rigidity. The strategist is adaptable in circumstance but consistent in principle. He can move cities, change professions, or face chaos without losing rhythm. Consistency is not about environment, it is about identity. The disciplined man carries his order wherever he goes. The ritual of consistency has 3 stages. First, simplify. Complexity destroys momentum. The strategist reduces his commitments to essentials, the few habits that produce strength, clarity, and control. What is unnecessary becomes distraction, and distraction is a luxury he cannot afford. Every repeated act must serve power. Second, measure. The strategist does not trust memory, he trusts record. He writes what he completes, what he delays, what he resists. Each mark becomes a mirror of accountability. Numbers replace excuses. The daily ledger, maintained without sentiment, reveals whether will is advancing or retreating. Third, endure. The greatest enemy of consistency is emotion. The strategist continues when bored, tired, uninspired, or unseen. He knows that discipline, measured by passion, is discipline that dies with mood. His devotion is not to feeling, but to standard. Each day, repeated without enthusiasm, strengthens the muscle of obedience. Through this repetition, consistency transforms from burden into instinct. What once required effort becomes automatic, freeing mental energy for strategy. The disciplined man does not waste willpower deciding he reserves it for direction. Machiavelli would have admired such regularity, for he believed that the wise ruler creates order not through inspiration, but through repetition of command. The self-disciplined follow the same law. Repetition is rulership. Each consistent act says silently, "I am still in control." Consistency also alters how the world perceives you. Others begin to rely on your steadiness, even if they envy it. They measure time by your pace, confidence by your composure. In a world addicted to novelty, the consistent man becomes a monument unchanging, dependable, quietly intimidating. This is the hidden paradox. Consistency, which appears dull to the impatient, becomes the most powerful form of unpredictability. When others burn out and fade, the strategist remains. His survival becomes superiority. Disciplined strength is not intensity, it is continuity. The world is conquered not by the man who acts dramatically once, but by the one who repeats calmly 1,000 times. The ritual of consistency turns daily effort into inevitable triumph. The strategist ends each day, not with excitement, but with certainty. He knows that while others chase motivation, he has built machinery. Machinery never hesitates, it only moves forward. All power fades without endurance. Talent, charm, intelligence, each withers under time and pressure, if not fortified by persistence. The Machiavellian strategist knows that greatness is not a moment of brilliance, but the refusal to break when brilliance is gone. Endurance is the quiet continuation of power long after others have surrendered. Machiavelli wrote that fortune tests men through adversity. To him, the capable ruler was not the one who triumphed in ease, but the one who endured when fortune turned against him. Endurance, then, is not the absence of failure. It is the capacity to remain unbroken through it. The strategist understands this as law. The longer you can persist without losing clarity, the more certain your victory becomes. Endurance is not stubbornness. Stubbornness resists change. Endurance adapts to it. The strategist bends, but does not bow. He observes when to conserve energy, when to advance, and when to retreat. His persistence is patient, not frantic. He plays the long game in a world addicted to immediacy. Every man will face fatigue, loss, and doubt. The crowd seeks escape in distraction, pleasure, or resignation. The strategist seeks strength in struggle itself. To him, discomfort is not punishment but proof of motion. The harder the path becomes, the fewer competitors remain. He understands that time is the great purifier. Those who endure longest outlast those who merely shine. Endurance is built through repetition of resistance. You do not train it through comfort, but through deliberate confrontation with difficulty. Each task done despite fatigue, each hour of focus maintained past frustration extends your threshold. Gradually, your tolerance becomes armor. You cease to crumble under pressure because pressure has become familiar. The disciplined man transforms endurance into advantage. When others panic, he calculates. When others tire, he continues. When others lose faith, he becomes silent and steady. This calm persistence unsettles adversaries. They cannot comprehend strength without strain. They expect exhaustion to rule you. Your composure proves otherwise. But endurance also requires emotional mastery. Pain, fear, and boredom are weapons of the world against your will. The strategist neutralizes them, not by suppression but by redefinition. Pain becomes signal, fear becomes focus, boredom becomes training and patience. He interprets suffering as a natural toll for progress, not an injustice. This shift in meaning transforms endurance from misery into control. Machiavelli would say that those who wish to remain powerful must learn to suffer wisely. The undisciplined suffer repeatedly for the same mistakes. The strategist suffers once, learns, and adapts. He refines his strength through each hardship until his will becomes conditioned to survival. Endurance also reshapes perception. To others, you appear inexhaustible. They see your stillness where they would break, your persistence where they would stop. Even your silence begins to carry weight, for it speaks of battles endured privately. They begin to trust your calm, fear your patience, and follow your direction. Understand this. Endurance is not glamorous. It has no applause, no visible reward in its early stages. But in time, endurance converts every defeat into data, every delay into preparation. Those who quit early cannot see how close endurance was to victory. The strategist measures time differently. He sees not minutes or days, but opportunities to persist. He knows that power is not in speed, but in survival. The one who endures rules. When others seek escape, he remains. When they doubt, he adjusts. When they fall silent, he begins again. And because he never leaves the field, time itself eventually kneels to his persistence. The highest form of discipline is not in routine, nor in endurance. It is in command of the self at the moment of temptation. The Machiavellian strategist knows that the true battlefield is not external. It exists in the seconds between impulse and action. Power belongs to the one who can pause, assess, and act deliberately, while others obey instinct. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must learn to master both his nature and that of others. Self-control is mastery of the first. Without it, the second is impossible. The strategist's emotions serve his purpose. They never dictate it. His desires obey his design. His silence conceals storms that he has already tamed. Self-control is not denial. It is redirection. Every urge carries energy. To suppress it entirely is waste. To channel it toward purpose is strength. Anger can fuel determination. Envy can sharpen ambition. Fear can heighten awareness. The disciplined man converts emotion into motion, instinct into insight. The first step in this art is awareness. The strategist studies his impulses the way a commander studies enemy movements. He observes what provokes, what tempts, what distracts. Each pattern of weakness becomes territory to map and control. He learns to feel emotion without reacting to it, to watch desire rise and fall as if it belonged to someone else. Observation creates distance, and distance creates power. The second step is substitution. The strategist does not fight impulse with emptiness. He replaces it with structure. He creates rituals to occupy the space between urge and action, breathing, pacing, reflection. These small acts transform reaction into response. Every time he resists, the interval between stimulus and decision lengthens until control becomes reflex. The third step is restraint in expression. The strategist knows that revealing emotion is surrendering leverage. Anger displayed is advantage lost. Affection shown too early is power transferred. He allows his face to remain calm, his tone composed, his pace deliberate. Others may provoke, but he gives them no map of his inner terrain. What they cannot read, they cannot manipulate. Self-control also governs the use of pleasure. The strategist enjoys only what he commands. He indulges with precision, not compulsion. Every pleasure is earned, every reward scheduled. This control does not dull enjoyment, it intensifies it, because pleasure without guilt and desire without weakness belong only to the disciplined. Machiavelli would remind us that those who cannot rule their own appetites become servants to those who can. History is filled with men undone not by enemies, but by their own excesses. Self-control prevents this decay. It preserves energy, focus, and dignity. It makes longevity possible in a world that consumes itself with indulgence. The strategist does not seek to eliminate desire, he refines it. He chooses what to want and when to want it. His mind gives orders to his instincts, and they obey. Others call it restraint. He calls it freedom. Self-control transforms perception. People feel the quiet weight of someone who cannot be provoked. They sense calculation behind his patience, purpose behind his pauses. His calm makes them cautious. His composure disarms them. The disciplined man does not need to declare power, he radiates it through control. Understand this. The world belongs to those who can wait, hold, and choose. Self-control is not the suppression of humanity, it is the perfection of it. The strategist feels as deeply as anyone, but he decides when and how to reveal it. He is not free from emotion. He is free within it, and that is the purest form of power. Every act of power, creation, or endurance draws from one hidden currency: energy. The Machiavellian strategist understands that discipline is not only control of desire, but control of expenditure. Most people squander their strength on distraction, reaction, and noise. The strategist hoards his. His discipline is an economy. He invests his energy where it compounds and cuts it off where it leaks. Machiavelli wrote that wise rulers preserve their resources until the decisive moment. The same law governs personal power. The disciplined man does not spend his mental or emotional energy on every provocation or impulse. He calculates which battles deserve effort, which require patience, and which demand silence. Every choice is an allocation of fuel. The first law of this economy is awareness of waste. The strategist studies what drains him: unnecessary conversation, trivial argument, overindulgence, resentment. Each of these seems small, but together they erode focus. He eliminates them without sentiment. Indifference is not cruelty, it is conservation. He saves his attention for what shapes destiny, not what entertains weakness. The second law is focus. The disciplined man works as a lens concentrates light. He directs all energy toward the few goals that truly matter. To scatter effort is to dilute force. To concentrate it is to make it unstoppable. Every habit, every schedule, every silence must serve this concentration. The third law is renewal. The strategist understands that exhaustion is as dangerous as indulgence. He does not confuse constant motion with progress. Rest, solitude, and reflection are not luxuries, they are fuel management. He withdraws deliberately to sharpen again. In a world of frantic movement, stillness becomes his secret weapon. The fourth law is emotional neutrality. Emotion, if uncontrolled, burns energy faster than any labor. The strategist remains calm, even under insult or temptation. Anger wastes focus, anxiety drains clarity, guilt consumes will. By mastering his emotions, he extends his endurance far beyond those who burn out chasing validation. Machiavelli would call this prudence, the discipline to reserve one's strength until the moment of advantage. The strategist acts only when outcome justifies expenditure. He would rather lose an argument than waste attention, rather seem passive than spend effort prematurely. To him, control of energy is control of time, and time is the ultimate weapon. The disciplined man also guards his environment. He avoids those who deplete his energy, the idle, the envious, the dramatic. He chooses surroundings that support clarity. His space, his schedule, and his circle are all part of his energy design. Nothing enters his world without purpose. Energy economy changes how others experience you. They feel your focus as tension, your stillness as confidence. They sense that your attention is valuable because you give it sparingly. The crowd wastes energy on appearance. The strategist builds energy in silence. By the time others tire from constant motion, he is only beginning to move. Discipline, at its highest form, is not about denial, it is about investment. Every act, every word, every thought must earn its place in your day. To waste energy is to weaken power. To preserve it is to multiply it. Understand this. The powerful are not those who have more energy, but those who spend less foolishly. The strategist endures longer, strikes sharper, and recovers faster because he never leaks his strength into triviality. Energy is the breath of will. Guard it as the miser guards gold, because once you learn to manage it, no one can drain you, distract you, or defeat you. They will simply tire before you do. The highest form of discipline is not in body or habit, it is in direction. The Machiavellian strategist understands that without vision, discipline decays into repetition. Routine without purpose is slavery. Structure without aim is stagnation. Vision gives discipline meaning. It turns restraint into momentum and endurance into destiny. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler without foresight is at the mercy of fortune. The strategist, therefore, disciplines his mind not only to act efficiently, but to act toward a design greater than comfort. His self-control is not self-denial, it is service to an ideal. Every act of restraint, every moment of effort, every silence becomes a brick in the construction of that larger aim. Vision is not fantasy. It is the precise image of what must exist, combined with the patience to create it. The strategist builds it twice, first in thought, then in time. He knows that no plan survives fortune untouched, but without a plan, fortune devours you entirely. Vision is not meant to predict the future, but to guide your reaction to it. Discipline without vision is mechanical. Vision without discipline is illusion. Together, they form command. The disciplined man looks beyond impulse, beyond momentary satisfaction, beyond fatigue. His mind stays fixed on outcome. He suffers deliberately because his suffering is directional. The pain of the present becomes tolerable when tethered to a future of meaning. The first step in disciplined vision is clarity. The strategist defines precisely what he wants, not in vague terms like happiness or success, but in structure, numbers, milestones, shapes. He knows that ambiguity is the enemy of consistency. A clear vision turns every act into progress. An unclear one turns every act into distraction. The second step is hierarchy. The strategist prioritizes long-term triumphs over short-term pleasures. He understands that not all goals are equal. Some serve vanity, others build foundation. He eliminates pursuits that consume attention without yielding power. In his world, every task must report to the throne of purpose. The third step is persistence of sight. Fortune will obscure your vision. Fatigue will blur it. The strategist guards his focus through ritual. Each morning, he re-examines the target. Each night, he measures alignment. This repetition ensures that emotion cannot replace direction. When others lose perspective, he continues with the quiet confidence of one who never forgets where he is going. Vision also shapes how the world perceives you. Those without discipline appear restless. Those without vision appear mechanical. But the strategist, possessing both, radiates inevitability. People sense that his movements connect to something larger than the moment. They interpret his patience as confidence, his calm as purpose. They begin to believe in his outcome even before he achieves it. Machiavelli would say that vision turns fortune into servant. The disciplined visionary bends circumstance toward his design. Obstacles become steps. Setbacks become structure. His mind is fixed not on ease, but on completion. Understand this. Discipline without vision is control without creation. Vision without discipline is creation without control. To rule your life, you must master both. When the disciplined man joins order to purpose, his every action carries weight. He no longer seeks motivation, he becomes it. His focus draws others, his consistency shapes fate. And in the end, when others chase comfort, he builds legacy. Because the disciplined do not live by days or moods, they live by design. Self-discipline is not denial, it is power made visible. It is the art of commanding the self so completely that chaos obeys. The Machiavellian strategist builds his control, not for purity, but for precision, to direct every thought, every action, every breath toward mastery. Train your will until it no longer trembles. Build your habits until they become law. Rule yourself, and the world will follow. Subscribe, stay vigilant, and return for the next lesson where Machiavelli's principles unfold further into the modern laws of command, perception, and power.